reviewing your plans, my initial reaction, start over. Throw all four out. But here you are in an economic crisis in this state. You've flatlined for 20 years, probably going on 25. What is the impact of those four plans on your fiscal future? And will you continue to flatline as a community? And then in comparison to Arlington, which again was in your exact same place in the mid-'80s, you know, I'm not going to say they sailed through this recession, but they've not had to cut back much at all. There have been no layoffs. You know, the schools are doing just fine, thank you very much. So if those four plans show a continued flatlining, I would suggest that you just say it's not fiscally responsible. This is not something that this town can afford to, you know, given the fact that California is on its back economically, and Los Angeles County and Pasadena has gone flatline for 2 decades. You can't afford it. You need a conscious affordable housing, affordable and workforce housing. And there's like 14 different things that could be part of that strategy. Inclusionary zoning, that's an easy one too, but it needs to apply to a region as a whole. If you just make it downtown, you're penalizing downtown. Make it to the entire city. Arlington's done this. Montgomery County is another great model just north of DC, has done this. And Montgomery County has produced, without $1 of public money, has produced 25,000 permanently affordable housing units over the last 20 years. Let me tell you how I would personally, and what I've put in place. When I lived in Santa Fe, I was involved with the redevelopment of downtown Albuquerque. But in downtown Albuquerque, we put this boundary around downtown. There was a business improvement district put in place, paid for by the private sector, that would make sure noise didn't migrate into the neighborhoods around it and traffic didn't cut through, and parking was managed inside that district. And this is not rocket science. It's stuff, people know how to do that. But in essence, what we're trying to build is emerald cities. And most people who are in those neighborhoods having a view of Emerald City, like in The Wizard of Oz, you get a view premium for that. Your house is going to go up in value by looking at the lights. It's called a city view. And I don't see why there's any sort of FAR limit on it. And then if you're going to have it, obviously, rail stations are where it should be. And you've got some underutilized rail stations south of us here. I mean, the whole Fair Oaks corridor up and down Arroyo. I mean, that's part of it's light industrial. You build this multi-billion-dollar light rail system and then you have light industrial there, that's mad. That should all be high-density residential and retail and then the office down here. And so, no, it should be around the rail stations. That's why it's called transit-oriented development. There's a lot of examples out there now. 10 years ago, there weren't examples. Today, there are. So, you know, White Flint, those neighborhood groups got behind the increased density because they saw Arlington. And they kept on going to Arlington for restaurants, and they were enjoying it and shopping. And they said, well, why can't White Flint be like this instead of this unmitigated hell? Most people, when you tell them that Arlington, you know, increased by 100% in their square footage over the last 15, 20 years, and their traffic went down, their first reaction is, can't be true. You know, it's not true. The other thing is, I would urge you to get Chris Zimmerman out here, who's the chairman of the Board of Supervisors of Arlington. He will lay out why this is by far the most sustainable way. You move somebody from Linda Vista, you move them into Old Pasadena, their climate change impact, their greenhouse gas emissions will decline between 50 and 80%. That is the answer to climate change. They're the ones that are causing climate change on this planet. I mean, if you care about the planet, you've got to build this way. And the other thing which just, it blows me away is that you've done the hard part. Turning around Old Pasadena and the Playhouse District without rail transit, creating a there has been that's the tough thing to do. Putting in the rail transit is the tough thing to do. The message today is A, keep it up, and B, don't blow it, because you really do have a chance of blowing it.